The comparison I would give you is that in other European monarchies, for example, in Spain or in Sweden, I mean, the cost of the royal family there is probably between about £5 and £10 million a year. Ours is by far the most expensive monarchy. And of course, the figure which is quoted today doesn't take account of for example, the money that Prince Charles takes to the Duchy of Cornwall, which he calls a private estate, although he pays no corporation tax, unlike every other private estate in the country. It doesn't take account of the tax breaks which the royal family uniquely gets, for example, not paying inheritance tax. It doesn't take account of other means in which their income is boosted as well. So £200 million probably on top of that for security, including for many minor royals who frankly don't need it. So, the cost is actually much greater than the figure quoted today.
Gosh, not paying inheritance tax. Aren't they lucky?
Yeah,
the old royal family. Yeah, I think that, when you do break it down like that, Norman, it really does make you think twice about some of all of this. Whilst we've got you with your royal hat on, we've talked about Prince Charles and suitcases. The other front story, talking about the royals this morning, is this Meghan bullying inquiry. It's being described as a big cover-up. Do you think this is one of the pitfalls of the royal family, that there isn't this transparency? It's a big institution, as you say, lots of public money ploughed into it. Do we have a right to know what's gone on in this case, and does it matter, do you think?
Well, there's two separate questions. I think we have a right to know, but does it matter? It probably doesn't matter that much in the big scheme of things. But look, I mean, the royal family, like any other bit of the public sector, is paid for from taxes. And I'm a believer that anything which comes from the public purse should be accountable to the public in terms of what that money is spent on, whether it's the NHS or whether it's a school or whether it's a government or a local council. And in that sense, the royal family is no different. I mean, I think we need to know where the money has gone and satisfy ourselves that it's been properly spent. And unfortunately, what's happened in the last few years, under pressure from Prince Charles in particular, is the amount of information about the royal family, officially released, as it were, has decreased. He has campaigned for the Freedom of Information Act to be tightened, so that less information is released about the royal family. At the same time, the Freedom of Information Act has been widened in other respects. For example, Network Rail has been brought into the Act and so on. And I think that's unwise. I think actually the best guarantee is openness and transparency. I saw this with MPs' expenses, which of course was a terrible abuse. I helped to reveal that with my first inquiry on that matter. And of course, people were horrified, rightly so, by that. And the reason that the MPs abused their position in those days was because they thought they could keep it secret. Transparency is a great cleanser, a great detergent, and it would apply to any bit in the public sector, including the royal family.